everyone. Welcome to our exclusive webinar, A Global Fast, discovering the new high-capacity Solis high-voltage hybrid inverters, proudly brought to you by Solis Inverters in partnership with Nastech Solar. My name is Olivia Nambeja. I am a customer sales representative at Nastech Solar, dedicated to supporting our clients across the African region by helping them find the right solar solutions for their unique energy needs. It's a pleasure to be your host today. We are incredibly excited to introduce you to Solis' latest innovation, a high-capacity, high-voltage hybrid inverter designed to meet the evolving needs of both residential and small commercial and industrial applications. We are honored to be joined by our expert speakers today, Engineer Norman, a technical lead at Nastech Solar. Engineer Norman, please.
Hi all. Yes, Olivia, please continue.
And then we have Si Wee, a pre-sales technical manager from Solis. Si, hi, please.
Hi everyone, I'm Wei. I'm from Solis, and now I will introduce the 50K series product for you. So can we start?
Yeah, yes, see, let me at first do introduction about Nastech, then we can start with the webinar about the Solis high voltage hybrid inverter.
Okay,
So
can
just
you
let,
see my
yeah,
screen?
just let me just share my screen.
Okay.
Hello all again, this is Naaman from Nastech. I'm electrical engineer with Nastech more than 3 years. I am from Syria, so any customer from Arab region, if he has any question in Arabic or anything, so I will be happy to assist him and reply all his question if he has any question in Arabic. Also in English, no problem. Nastech start in Dubai, established in Dubai since 2010. We are here in more than 15 years. My manager, he is second generation of his family. We start in oil and gas business. Then in Corona time, 2019, 2020, we switch to solar business. So we are in solar business 6 years, almost 6 years, we can say. For Nastech now, we have our main office and our headquarter is in Dubai and our warehouse in Jebel Ali Free Zone. Also, we have branches in Istanbul and warehouse in Istanbul, and we have, sorry, and we have in Namibia, Valvish Bay, office and warehouse. So our territory is whole Africa, whole Middle East, Turkish market, and CIS country like Armenia, Georgia, or Russian-speaking country. For the product that we are main distributor for tier one brand and big brand like Solis that we have now today webinar. Solis, as you know, is the third biggest manufacturer in the world. This is a brief about brand like panels, inverter, and lithium batteries. If you have any requirement or any question, you can check always our website, nastechsolar.com, for all the product that we are distributor. Also, you can send your requirement or your question to our email, sales@nastech.ae. Also, you can see our contact number in the screen. I will give now the mic to Mr. C so he can start the webinar and we can talk now about the Solis high voltage inverter. Mr. C, could you please start?
Okay. I will share my screen. Okay, now I will introduce the 50K series product for you. So first about the product overview. We have these models in total. And it is the picture of this machine from the top, the bottom, left side, and the right side. And here we can see the technical data. So for the battery, For the PV side, for DC side, so we can do the 2 times the DC AC ratio. So for example, if you have 30 30k inverter, so you can configure the 60 kilovolts the PV panel for your plant.
Mr.
So
C,
we can
yeah,
so
sorry
we
for
can
for cutting you. Just one moment. I just want to inform our customer if they have any question or any thing now they need to ask us in the webinar. They can write it in chat section, and at the end of the webinar, me and Mr. C we can answer all your question. Please, on the left, on the top, on the Teams, you can see the chat section, and you can ask all your question. Thank you. You can continue, Mr. C.
okay. So you can for Solis Solis inverters, you can realize the you have the 30 kilovolts power to charging the battery, and you can use the 30 kilovolts power to supply the load. So for the battery, we support the battery type, the voltage from the 150 to the 800 volts, and we just support the lithium battery. So on this inverter, we support 2 battery connection ports. So you also can choose to parallel the 2 DC ports together. Then we can realize the charging and discharging current up to 150 amperes in total. For the communication, we use the CAN communication protocol. And for the overload capacity, we support the 1.6 times of rated power, continue for the 2 seconds. And for the backup switch time, it's less than 10 milliseconds. Okay, for this inverter, the feature, so we have 4 MPT, and we support 8 strings, and the maximum the current up to the 20 ampere. For the charging current, we can realize the 150 amperes for the battery, and for the short-term peak support. For the parallels mode, we can support up to 6 units in parallel, but now we already realized the 10 units in parallel mode 3 months ago. We also support the cloud mounting, and we are compatible with the mainstream global battery brands. Okay, for the working mode, we have the 3 working mode. One is self-use, one is ceiling first, one is off-grid. So for the self-use mode, we can define it by the working logic for the load priority. So we supply the load at first, then we will have the supplies the power, then it will charge the battery, and if it is still have the surplus power, it will fill in the grid. In this self-use mode, we also support the time of use setting in this mode. So you can set the 6 time period to decide when to discharging your battery or when to charging your battery. About the ceiling first, so the priority of the load of the battery and the grid, they are opposite the working logic. And for the off-grid mode, it is very easy to understand. Just to charging the battery and supply power to the load. Okay, for the key functions, we have the TOE function, so you can set the 6 the charging discharging time setting, and we have the battery reserve function, so you can keep the battery SOC at a certain value you set. About the feed-in power limit function, so we support you can set the 0 power to feed in the grid. About the eco function and the wake up function and the heating function, just and the peak shaving function, just designed to help for the battery working. Okay, it is very important for the installation. So we can see the bottom of the inverter. On the left side, we have the Bluetooth tuner and DC switch. Here we can connect the PV panel. This COM port is designed for the local connection, and the COM1, COM2, COM3, COM4. These ports are used for the communication cable connection, such as the meter, the CT, and the DRM port, and the other the third-party the controller. And a smart port, we also call it the generator port, used for the generator connection, but it also can output the power to supply the some load. But the priority is very low, is lower than the backup port. So the backup port used for the connect the critical load, and this is the grid port connect to the AC grid. So we have the two battery ports to support the two battery connection. So if you open the wiring box, the cover, so you can see the this port on the onboard. Okay, you can see the communication we use, communication protocol we used for the different the devices. For the battery, we use the CAN communication protocol. For the meter communication and the monitor interface and the almost other the devices and the third-party external devices, we use the Modbus RTU communication protocol. For the parallel function, we use the CAN protocol. In the old version, we have the Ethernet port, but it just supports the Modbus RTU. So we will change this name as the IS485. So it will be changed as the different the batch. Okay, about the accessory. So one thing should be noticed is the CAN cable. This cable is used for the parallel communication in the inverters, not for the battery communication. And for the meter, it is optional. Okay, you should follow the condition, the regulation for the installation. For the single machine system, so we support you connect the two battery, connect the backup load, grid load, then the CT and the meter as a single the energy storage system. This table is about the wiring requirement, about the AC breaker specification. You can just take it as a reference when you are installation. So about the generator, we support the two methods about the generator connection. One is just connect the to the smart port. One is on the grid side. So if you want to connect the generator with the automatically control start or stop, so you should buy the ATS by yourself. Then install it on the grid side, and the generator will start or stop according to, based on the battery SOC. About the parallel system with the generator, you also can choose these methods, and you also can choose to connect all the smart ports together, then connect the generator with the bigger the capacity. It's the working logic about the generator. So it will start when the battery discharge to the start SOC and stop when the SOC reach the exit SOC. Okay, we also support the AC coupling system. Actually, it is the function we designed because some the customer already have the PV plant. So some customer want to add the battery to do the energy storage. So we can support the grid tie inverter connect to the smart port to this smart port. Then to meet the customer demand. But here you should notice that the grid tie inverter power should less than the hybrid rated power, and if you have the EPM demand we call the export power management or the limit. So when on the grid, all the inverters controlled by the follow the grid, the frequency and the voltage follow the grid. But when it is off grid, so we will have the over frequency derating function on the smart port and the AC port, so the system can be safe when you are using it. Okay, it is the working logic. Okay, about the setting. So when you want to use the AC couple function, so you should enable the smart port as the AC coupled input. Then you should set the max frequency, and about the max export the control. This function will developed in the next month. So for this parameters, you just to follow the this explanation. So when the SOC reach to the 70%, then the grid tied inverter start to reduce the power generation. When the battery reaches the 85%, then the grid tied inverter stop generation. So it will not be harmful to the hybrid inverter by this working logic. About the battery connection method, so we support the three connection methods. One, the first one, last we call the independent, because the battery connect to the individual DC port. For the second method we call the parallel. So you can connect the two DC ports together to get the maximum current 140 amperes. So when you only have the bigger the battery, you just need to connect to the BMS connection to the BMS 1 port. For the battery capacity configuration range, we support this range. For example, if you have the 50 kWh the battery, you can choose the after 1 year with the load increasing, so you want to add another battery, so you can choose the different brand and different capacity. Then the system will still working normally. So for the battery brand, we support this mainstream the high voltage battery. For the measurement, so we provided the two measurement configuration. One is meter and CT configuration, and one is the only CT. So for the CT cable, the default length is 4 meters. One thing should be noticed is the when you want to connect the inverter more than 3 pieces in the parallel mode, you need to configure the CT by yourself. And for the CT requirements, the secondary side current of CT is 5 amperes. So because the range, the current range is not enough for the parallel mode. About the CT solution, only CT in the system. So just connect the simple wire to the inverter, and you should be careful that not connect to the wrong position on the onboard. And the positive is the white cable, and the negative is the black cable. Okay, it is the meter and CT solution. So you should connect to the CT cable to the meter, then the meter connect to the meter port on the onboard in the inverter inside. So about the parallel system, so you should keep the, if you want to configure the parallel system, you should keep the models are same. And the for the battery, some custom want to connect the one battery to the two inverter. We don't support that. And some alarm will be reported if the customer not connect some ports together. For example, in this diagram, we don't connect the smart port together. So you should disable the smart port function on the screen or on the Solis Cloud Cloud app. About the parallel electrical wiring. So just connect the cable from this terminal. Okay, about the communication wiring, so you should connect the CAN cable like this. The first inverter PV port to the second PA port, then the PV of the second to the this one, just like this diagram. After the communication cable connected, then you should turn the dip switch on the onboard of the first and the last inverter. For example, for this inverter, this master inverter and the last one, you should turn the dip switch to the on position. It is about the parallel setting on the Solis app. Also, same the operation on the inverter screen. Enable the system parallel system, then choose which one is the master, which one is slave, and set the physical ID. For example, the master the ID is 1, then the slave is 2, 3, 4, 5. Then choose the professional setting, devices setting, then choose the meter or CT setting. If you have the only CT, you just need to set it as the CT. If you have the meter and the CT, just choose the meter option. Then set the CT ratio. Okay, it is about the capacity configuration. So for the different region or the different customer, one problem is very and they often ask me about the charging current. For example, if the voltage of the battery is very low, For example, some customer use the battery with 200 volts or the 300 volts. So they can't get the maximum the current up to the 140 amperes, like we said. About the configuration of the accessory, we provided the logo, the CT, PV terminal, battery terminal, and the parallel wire, and the RJ45 terminal. About the application scenario, so one is very common, the on-grid scenario, the PV and the energy storage system. One is the AC coupling with the generator on the smart port or on the grid side. In the off-grid region, so we can also realize the working normally on the off-grid. So it is suitable for the public building, hospital, factories, island. These nodes are used for the installation when you want to installation when you want to install the machine for the customer, and for the it is about the EU. We also will add the hardware, the switch on the left side. Okay, it is about the HMI operation. So we have the 3 lights and 4 the buttons to control all the system. So it's the system overview, plant information, alarm info, system setting, and the professional setting. So you can set the storage mode, battery setting, smart port, and grid port, parallel setting, basic setting under the system setting. We support the quick setting for you when you are first use the Solis hybrid inverter. So you need to set the inverter time. Maybe just follow your phone time and set the city or meter, the measurement, and the location, and the city, the direction should be forwarded to the grid and the city ratio, and choose the grid code based on your region. And for the storage mode, you can choose this storage mode, and for the export power you allow. When this setting is finished, then you can use the hybrid inverter. It is about the TOU function, so you can set the 6 time period for charging or discharging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the battery connection, so if you only have the one battery, you just need to change the one battery, one DC port. If you have the 2 DC ports together, connect to the one battery with a big capacity, just choose the one battery, 2 DC ports. Then you can choose the different the battery communication protocol. It is about the smart port usage. It can be used as the genset input or the smart load to output power to supply load. Also can use for the AC coupling. About the parallel system, the same operation as the Solis app. Okay, it's about the 50K series product introduction. So, anyone, if you have some problem, you can ask me now.
Yeah, see, I just was saying, like, also we need to inform our customer that also Solis has now the highest capacity for high voltage hybrid inverter. So just let me share my screen. Uh, yeah. Now this on Solis website. Now Solis they will have coming soon high voltage hybrid inverter stand from 75 up to 125 kilo. This is the highest high voltage hybrid inverter on the world. Solis will be the first manufacturer on the world. They will have this biggest high voltage inverter. So this is it's great news now. For this big capacity, this will for sure will be يعني trend on the market soon, for especially for CNI project. This is just I want to add to you see. I don't know if you have maybe Raven any comment or anything to add before going to the question part.
Hello, everyone. Raven from Solis here, and it's a pleasure to see you guys, and thank you for your valuable time. From my side, I don't have any like specific issues, but I just saw several questions during the training, during the speech, and I would love to answer part of it. So, just for me,
Sure.
let me open
Hi,
it.
Raven. For
Yes.
our audience, before we start the questions and answers, thank you very much, Ziwei, for the. There are so many functions. Of course, it's not possible to share it in even 1 hour, maybe even 2 hours. So for that, it's just an introduction what the Solis products are capable of. That's why maybe our customers will have ask questions, will answer, and this answer will lead to even more questions. That's only normal. So I suggest that our customers to contact us with their specific application, and then based on that project and specific application, we will answer those questions and then offer the correct combination with Solis and the battery side. So one of my observations being in the industry for a long time, in the solar energy industry is very new, fairly new, is that with the Solis high voltage hybrid inverters, what is exciting is the PV side of the capacity, which excites me. There are many other good things, of course, is that it is 200% DC. So in practicality, this means is that when you have a 50 kilo hybrid inverter from Solis, you can put up to 100 kilowatt PV panels onto your roof or onto your factory or wherever you can install. This means that when you're buying a 50 kilowatt capacity inverter, during the daytime when the sun is on top, you can literally use the inverter for a 50 kilowatt load. At the same time, same capacity, without compromising anything, you can charge your batteries with almost the same capacity. So you have 50 kilo inverter, 100 kilowatt PV panels, 50 you are using it in your daytime load, but at the same time you have up to 50 kilowatt to be able to use it to charge your batteries. This is a huge capacity. I think the nearest competitor to this is giving 1.3, I mean 30% more than the nominal capacity. So if it is 50 kilo, some other brand will give 65 kilowatt overall PV capacity, which will of course then make you choose at the same time, shall I charge my battery or shall I use it for my load? But with Solis, you don't need to choose. You can use it at the same time for your load and for your battery charging at the same time. That's something that I wanted to highlight. Sive explained it, but I think if some customers are new to the high voltage hybrid inverter products, maybe they are not aware, but believe me, this is only with Solis. Yep. Naman,
Yes.
back to
Yes.
you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Now maybe we can answer all the question from the customer. So first question, do you have a specific high voltage battery made by your company?
So far we don't. Solis as a manufacturer of inverter for 20 years, we are quite focused on our own technology, which is inverter. And as you may know, actually inverter is more related with electronic products. However, battery is like chemistry industry. So it's two totally different industry, which means actually those other guys who's providing you both products, they buy it or something. But in Solis, we have like a alternative option, which is we are compatible with most of the big names of the like batteries from the market. You can see a very long compatible list from our official website, like those big names, for example, like Dynis, Pylon-Tech, BYD, CATL, EVE, we are all compatible with them. So it's easy for you to find a good battery, which can be used with this inverter.
Thank you, Raven. Also, you answered the second question. He was asking which inverter battery brand that compatible with the Solis inverter. Third question, do the inverter have dry contact to trigger the generator to charge the battery at low
Yes.
COC?
Yes, as long as you do the right settings, right wiring, and the generator has the communication function, we could achieve that.
They asking about also the warranty for Solis inverter.
Solis for Middle East Asian market, Solis is offering actually 5 years as standard warranty, and we are offering actually replacement warranty because our inverter is IP66 level. If we repair it by, change some boards, some accessories, it will affect the other accessories, and also no one can test it. So we are offering replacement warranty. 5 years as standard. You can choose to extend it to 10 or 15 years with additional cost, of course.
Thank you. What is the max power of critical of grid load?
Would you please be more specified? What's the definition of critical of grid load? Miss
Dana.
Ibrahim, are you
Yeah.
still here? Mr. Ibrahim, please raise your
Maybe,
hand.
yeah, maybe we can go later to come back later to this question. Now the
Okay.
other question, what is the advantage of using Solis high voltage hybrid inverter in terms of efficiency and compatibility compared to low voltage hybrid inverter system?
As the general conception, actually, every system, every energy storage system, as long as it is related with high voltage, the efficiency will definitely be higher than low voltage system. And it's not only related with the inverter efficiency itself, it's also related with the battery charging discharging efficiency. So as long as the main issue for the high voltage is the battery is more expensive compared to low voltage battery, but if you look into it long termly, from long term perspective, a high voltage battery is actually better. It's actually better. You can have more cost saving from that.
Can this presentation be shared for the meeting? For sure, we will share this presentation after we finish the webinar to all our customers who joined this webinar. What is the similarity with the day high voltage inverter? I think I can answer the question. Solis, as I mentioned before, also now they are leading on the hybrid inverter. So also now they have the biggest hybrid capacity. They will have 125. So that they are leading. Also, if you check the combined on the each inverter, if you open the inverter and check the boards, if everything, so you will see the quality and the efficiency for the Solis product. Do you have a PC Solis app? Solis app, you can check on there is website. You can check, but for as a app, just on mobile phone will be. On grid mode, what will happen if we lose the utility grid? Raven, you will answer this question or go ahead?
Just 1 minute. If we lose the utility grid, you mean for
grid
the
mode.
hybriding? If you install the hybrid inverter, we'll switch directly to support the load with PV, with battery, or with the generator. It depends on the real situation. The working mode of the inverter you set, and also the SOC of the battery, the PV system, the generation from the PV from the panel, also whether you connect it with generator or not. But if you have them all, we'll swiftly switch from grid to support the power to those backup resource. How to
attach generator with the Solis S6 EH1B6 kilo Pro? Do we just have to attach generator single phase cable with the inverter, or we have to make ATS panel for auto turn on or off, and what specification should be in generator so it will be compatible?
That's a low voltage. That's a
low voltage 6 kilo. Yeah.
Yes. Our engineer is not here. I don't actually know. I'm sorry, but I don't actually know the details about the wiring. Could you please just reply them after the training? We need to check with our engineer.
Okay, no problem. But if you can connect direct the generator to the port, also 6 kilo Pro, they have also generator input. You can direct connect the generator to the inverter. You don't need to have more ATS panel to turn on or to turn off the generator.
You can choose just connect on the smart port of the inverter.
Yes. Let's assume we are using a battery that is not supported by your inverter. Can we share the communication protocols with the Solis in order to establish communication between the inverter and the BMS?
Of course, we can do the communication compatible work.
And also we can go with connect battery without communication. We can still achieve some functions for low voltage one, but for high voltage we need the communication. We can share the protocol to do some test.
Yes, because almost all the high voltage battery has the communication function for battery itself.
Okay. When we need to connect the isolation transformer?
No, we don't need to connect to the isolation transformer.
Okay. Can you be able to provide the Modbus register for the inverter parameters and how we can pull this data in case we need to use it for external HMI or PLC?
Of course, we can show it.
Yeah. Raven, I think the next question is for you. When is the 125 kilo inverter expected?
Next quarter, so we'll launch it from small batch of production, from small batch, and we'll increase the quantity step by step. Next quarter around September.
So we can say in September, hopefully we can start use the new
Yes,
inverter
I
factories?
think the first batch we'll use in some like in the Southeast Asia first, because it's near to China. So we'll do some installations over there, and but yes, September.
Okay, thank you. Can you use the AC coupling function when you have the inverter in parallel?
Of course,
For sure.
we support it. Yeah.
What about Solis Better Station and Solis AI new interface? And do you have any Solis PC app?
We have the
Yes.
Solis Cloud, the monitoring platform for all the devices, including the weather instrument, the information we can display on it.
Okay. How many max inverter can be connected, and can we extend in the future if the load is increased?
For hybrid, the existing quantity for the residential one is 6 units. For the 50 kilowatts, we can go with 10 units. Can we extend in the future if load is increased? It depends on how many units you need. It depends on how many units you need, mate. If you install one, you want to like extend to 6, 10, 8, it's fine. But if you want to extend to 20, 30, 50, that might be a problem.
In the past, many users of high voltage hybrid inverters from other brands have reported issues like complex communication, firmware unstable, yeah, or limited battery compatibility. How has Solis addressed these challenges in its high voltage hybrid inverter series?
Now, man, let's do it this way. There is a battery compatibility list both on our, I think, product page, but most importantly, solisinverters.com. Let's post the website, the product page, and then there is a compatibility list that our customers can download. First of all, that they will see that there are so many brands and the reputable brands all listed over there. And then if anything beyond that, Seaway and Raven confirm that they are ready to cooperate to look into the communication protocol. But of course, that doesn't mean that Solis will immediately test and approve any battery it comes, because there are hundreds, maybe thousands of small battery manufacturers. So we cannot guarantee this, but Solis is willing to share that protocol with them. But if you can check the compatibility list on the Solis website, that will give you a very good idea. Right now, I am posting it into the chat, the link from Solis website directly. I think that is the first thing that we need to mention. Yeah.
Cool.
Raven, you want to answer this question? That some customers are afraid that there will be, because this is a high voltage system, there will be commissioning and other complex issues. Would you
Okay.
like to talk about the, first of all, fail rate, that as a company, that what fail rates we are able to get in the overall Solis product range?
As a inverter manufacturer, for around like 20 years, it's our 2 decades anniversary this year. So to be very honest, actually the failure rate of inverter depends on the model, on the capacity, on the status of the market. But what I can give as a reference is we sold around 3 to 5,000 units of on-grid residential inverter to Tunisia last year in 2024. We only have claims about like 2 to 3 units. So that's roughly, I just want to give you a rough idea of how our inverter is stable because of the hardware we choose, of the experience we have. But at the same time, At the same time, because wiring and the right settings is also very important. So at the very first beginning, when you start to it's first time you start to use Solis inverter, you might face some issue. But with the proper training, proper setting, proper wiring, it will be fine. It will be just fine.
Okay, so let us reply to this the high voltage. So the low voltage systems and the high voltage systems are very similar from the installation perspective. The firmware, of course, different, but the menus, the screen menus are very close, almost identical. And besides the battery being a high voltage unit, if you know how to do the low voltage Solis inverter installation, you will not have any issue installing the high voltage units. And from the remote support, like the firmware update and upgrade, and one of our customers was asking that, can I add more units in the future? We faced this many times, that one customer buys one inverter, hybrid inverter, in 1 year, and next year they are happy, they want to add a second or the third one. There might be firmware incompatibility issues. You buy a now iPhone, it will come with iOS 18, but maybe the iPhone that you bought last 2 years back, it is still in iOS 16, as an example. Of course, then it depends on how many old, how many new. Do you want to upgrade the old firmware to the new one, or to downgrade the new ones to the old one? So this is a decision that we can do in collaboration with our customer. And then those kind of firmware updates and upgrades are always done over the cloud, provided that the products are connected to the internet. And most of the time, the Solis team suggests and helps us when we have issues to do those firmware updates and upgrades at night, where the customer will have a minimal effect. So they go the length of working at night, their time, to reduce the impact on the customer. And Naman, you are also facing or seeing the tickets, like the support tickets, but most of the time the tickets are coming not because of compatibility or firmware instability, but rather the customers, the installers are not very familiar with the high voltage systems. So one of the things that they need to consider is the battery minimum startup voltage, which is generally speaking like around 150, 160 volts. And then some customers wants to start and with a small system, and then they go and then buy a 15 kilowatt hour battery, high voltage side. This is just at the starting voltage limit. So that's why we always recommend more than that, at least 20 kilowatt hours, which will come with 4 units, which will bring the startup voltage to 200 volts. So those kind of, as Raven says, that the education or training type of that the customers are used to the low voltage products, used acid gel batteries maybe in the past, might have some learning curve at the beginning, but once it's done, the products are pretty stable. And maybe Raven didn't mention, but the IGBT or the internal products that is used in Solis products are top level, top quality products. There is nothing second quality in those components. That's why overall the fail rate also is super low. Yeah, next question, Naman.
Yes. Do we able to parallel Solis on-grid and hybrid inverter? The AC coupling, this mean that you can put in the generator port or generator
port.
or on-grid inverter. Sorry?
Yeah, smart load port.
Yeah.
What
What does mean backup port and what can be used for?
You can just connect some like loads, some home appliance, if some home appliance to the backup port. So when the utility grid is off, the inverter will still send electricity to support whatever appliance you connected with the backup port.
Next question asking about the update the firmware if they can do it on site or online, off
Yes.
site. You can you can do it online. Just make the inverter online on the internet, connect with the internet, and it will be easier to do it online. What is the maximum power plus megawatt hour achievable with your inverter for off-grid application?
Power. So you mean the battery we can, which the maximum battery that can connect it with the inverter?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah. So depending on the battery model, right now the biggest Solis inverter, hybrid inverter is 50 kilo, and then you can put 10 of them in parallel, which effectively brings your power to 500 kilowatt. Each inverter has dual battery port, and then you can connect twice the size, approximately, let's say 100 kilowatt hour per inverter, which again, if you put 10 of them together, you are looking into 500 kilowatt power and 1 megawatt hour battery off the shelf on the wall. You don't need to do anything. These products are coming with their ATS and built in, so you don't need to build anything else. You just need to define one of the inverter as the master and the rest of them as the slave, and then the whole thing will act as one unit. With the Intersolar launched new products that Raven said, hopefully September we will be able to get our hands on. The capacity is now going 75, 100, and 125. So there are 3 new models are coming. So in the case of 125, Raven, will it be again 10 in parallel? I don't know that part.
For the 125, right?
Yeah.
When it's at the initial stage, it will support 6 units, and we'll step by step. After the 6 units parallel is stable, we'll increase it to 10.
Okay, so then the same scenario, this 125 also coming with 2 battery ports. Then in the starting phase, you will have 750 kilowatt installed power times 2 1.5 megawatt hour battery connected directly to the port. So you don't need bus bar, you don't need any STS or anything like that. Just directly utilize the 2 battery ports on each inverter. Once the product is stable, then it will be extended to 10 units. Then all of a sudden you will have 1.25 megawatt power and 2.5 megawatt 1.25 megawatt power, yes, and then 2.5 megawatt hour battery in a very modular and expandable manner. You can start with 1 unit, 2 batteries, and then add and grow as your requirement grows, or cash flow. It depends on your business model. Next.
Yes. Next, do we need a transfer switch cabinet for off-grid scenario? No, we don't need. Also, I
No.
think we see answer this question. Also, so solid generator plugging in S6 6 kilo Pro, we just plug in the generator output generator port, and do we have to do any configuration for that? Or also tell me that do we need any safety device between inverter and generator? Also tell me that like lithium battery, do we have specific standard for generator coming, or any generator can be coupled? You don't need any device between the inverter and generator, and the generator specification, and this it's depend on the customer requirement. يعني, what is your load, what the requirement from the customer. For those who joined that late, would it be able?
Yeah,
It
it will
be
be on
possible?
YouTube next week. Correct.
Sure. This we see. We have installed minimum 700 Solis inverter, more than 50, 125 kilowatt on grid, but we get this generator require always. No one in Pakistan will internet this. My email can come. You please share details and connect person of Solis to us.
Yeah, please email us. We'll put you directly to Solis team. And in Pakistan, there is a huge Solis support team. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Raven, you have even 4,000 square meter after sales parts and products as a warehouse in Pakistan. And there is a
Yes.
huge team. I think last exhibition we met them. There was 6 or 8 people working from Pakistan and directly under the Solis payroll. And you know, this is very weird. Honestly.
Yes, we have our own warehouse actually for after sales in Lahore, I think. Our own stock for after sales and our own engineers over there. So I just saw your message and I just sent it to our Pakistani team. I'll ask them to contact you. Okay, this engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the main advantage of using parallel high voltage inverter above the BES system? For BES system is fixed, like you will have maybe container solution, one capacity and one for output kilowatt, and also for batteries will be also fixed, like for example 1 megawatt hour. But for parallel high voltage inverter, it's flexible, more flexible, because as Raven and Mr. Goshe mentioned, you can put 10 pieces in parallel for 50 kilo. So you can start from 50 kilo output up to 500 kilo output. Also, each inverter has two input for batteries. So also you can, your battery capacity will be also flexible to put what your load needed. Not too much, not too low. You can see all the manual and data sheet on our website, nastechsolar.com, for Solis product. You can also download it.
Yeah.
What?
Another question: why doesn't Solis support firmware updates directly through the customer or engineer's web browser, and instead requires coordination with the Solis technical team for online upgrades?
That's mainly because of the authorization. Is if we, for example, if we offer those kind of authorization to part of the installer, just for example, okay, so those installers, they definitely won't know more details more clearly compared to our own engineer. You know, the firmware is just like the name of the firmware is just a list of figure like 4AC,
Yeah, exactly.
20. So they don't know the difference between each firmware. So it is always better to go through our own engineer.
And all other manufacturers are following the same thing, because there are so many different scenarios that as a manufacturer, even as a distributor, we cannot control on the customer end. So we are super, careful. First of all, we check on the Solis cloud, what is the product doing, is there anything abnormal, and then is it because of the firmware? So these kind of decisions has to be made, and most of the time it is the factory, the product team, the R&D team, if needed, involved to decide what is the cause of it. You cannot just slap a firmware upgrade whenever there is some error. So that's the kind of a quality control mechanism within Solis.
Does Solis inverter have the protection against the grid natural loss? Usually in Iraq, the network natural of transformer drops and become line.
As long as you like install the natural line, it's fine. It's fine. You're referring to hybrid inverter, right? From the feedback we get from Iraqi market, we feel that a lot installers they don't prefer to connect the neutral line, but it is required because it's hybrid. It's not like on-grid. For on-grid, it's fine, but for hybrid, you need to connect the neutral line in a proper way. As long as you connect it, it's fine. We have
Okay,
many installations in Iraq actually.
sure. I have one question to Siwei or maybe Raven. So for the
Please.
high voltage, let's say 50 kilo that
Mhm,
we discussed today, can
mhm,
we, I don't have money, I just bought the inverter, I don't have money for the battery and there is no
mhm,
grid. Can
mhm.
I use the high voltage, Solis high voltage inverter without grid, without battery?
Yes, you can. Without
All
grid,
right.
without battery, even without that generator, is fine. Just simply PV is fine. But just be
Yeah.
sure, because PV solar panel is not that stable. It rains sometimes, it's cloudy sometimes, so the generation from the inverter is not that much. So be sure when you have these only PV to support your system, don't connect too much loads. Don't connect too much loads.
Yeah. And one of our customers was asking what is the similarities with DEA. This is definitely the difference. With the DEA high voltage hybrid inverter, you need to have either battery or grid. If you don't have any of these, they don't recommend high voltage inverters to be used. Naman, is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is a very big difference between the DEA topology design and the Solis. Also, I mentioned the 200% more DC side you can connect.
Do you support unbalanced load for off-grid? What the maximum single-phase power you can handle? Some manufacturers do not. Yes, they can. They support unbalanced load up to 50%.
On each phase.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this operations friend. So send us an email. Let's not keep the team waiting. It's already late in China. Thanks, Siwei, for your time, and Raven and your busy schedule to spare time for us. If you don't have any other technical question, so we'll try to send because the files are generally big. What we do is that we copy everything from Solis. It's not our document. We try to put it into our nastechsolar.com product pages, the user manual, the data sheet, the compatibility list, but there is always the main truth of source. Source of truth is the Solis website, and those documents are there available, like the compatibility user manual and etc. So please, please, please drop us an email if you have any questions about the anything about the technical. Just as a clarification, as Nastech, we don't do design and then we don't advise on the installation, but we help with our customers in these pre-sales technical questions, product selection and sizing questions. So don't expect us to design the system for you, but we are here to help as much as we can in the scope of a distributor.
Yeah. Thank you, Raven, for this webinar and for the news about Solis product. Thank you all for joining this webinar. Also, if you have any technical question, as always, you can share with us to sales@Nastech, and we will be more than happy to answer all your questions. And as Mr. Gaucher mentioned, next week, hopefully, you can also see this webinar posted in our YouTube channel, Nastech Solar. Thank you all for your time. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you. Thank you,
Thank
Siwei.
you.
Thank you, Naman, Raven.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.